A brief history of the creation of the universe and everything in it. Once upon a time, there was a god. Actually, no. Though there are many different creation myths, there is only one theory that is widely accepted by scientists. The Big Bang Wait, no, not that one. The Big Bang Theory. And to explore it, we're gonna have to go back 13.7 billion years to a time before time even existed. No one really knows what came before our universe. There are several theories and we'll explore them all later in another video. But for now, let's assume there was nothing that, for some reason, violently exploded. In the first trillionth of a second after the Big Bang, it was so hot, the four fundamental forces of nature that govern our universe were bound together as a single superforce, until one by one they broke away. The radioactive soup of the early universe was filled with subatomic particles like quarks, but it was far too hot for anything larger to form. Less than 1 billionth of a second has passed since the Big Bang. The universe has grown to the size of a grapefruit, and as it expands, it begins to cool down. At this temperature, the subatomic particles are far more stable, and are able to come together to form protons and neutrons. Now, as the universe reaches 1 second old, the first and simplest element is able to form: hydrogen. By now, the universe has reached 100 billion kilometers in diameter. It is filled with hydrogen and it's still expanding. And for a very long time, hydrogen was the only element that existed. But as the universe continued to expand and cool, the protons, electrons and neutrons were able to come together to make more complex atoms. Until finally, helium, the second atomic element, was created. For around 1 billion years, massive pockets of helium and hydrogen gas filled the universe. The temperature had dropped to -200 degrees centigrade, and for the longest time, nothing seemed to be happening. Until suddenly, bright lights started to appear in the darkness. The clouds of atomic gases had become so massive that they had begun to generate their own gravitational fields, and were slowly being drawn together. In the centre, under immense pressure, the helium and hydrogen atoms had begun to fuse, giving birth to the first stars. For the universe's development, the creation of stars was a pivotal moment. Inside these nuclear furnaces, as the helium and hydrogen atoms were burned, they were converted into heavier elements. During this process, all of the naturally occurring elements of the periodic table were created. Every atom of everything that has ever existed first began life in the burning core of a star. But none of it would have been possible without the abundance of the first two elements. Even today, hydrogen still makes up 74% of the universe, helium 24%, and all the other elements combined make up only 2% of the total matter in the universe. Not only did the stars create everything, but they also provided an excellent distribution method. As the stars age over billions of years, they burn away all of their helium and hydrogen fuel, converting them into much heavier elements. As they reach the end of their life cycle, they begin to create iron, until, under the immense pressure of their own weight, explode, scattering the new elements throughout space, until they're pulled in by the gravitational fields of other stars, where they begin to form into galaxies. Inside these swirling clouds of dust, some of the rocks come together to form the moons and planets of a solar system. And if the conditions are just right, over billions of years, as the rock cools and fuses together, water may develop on the surface, then an atmosphere, and maybe even life. And that is how the universe and everything in it was created. Or maybe it was all this guy. But it definitely wasn't. Like that video, help support this channel and subscribe. Leave us a comment to let us know what you'd like us to feature next. Or the hydrogen gets it.